Nigerian youths are not lazy. We are a group of hyperachievers. It's the system is not killing potentials either, but the system is not standardized. There's this one for you. This is the standard. When I did producing course in New York Film Academy, when they were teaching us, they brought out a broadsheet. So there was a standard amount they pay producers, they pay DOPs. So it's not negotiation. It's not like come to my set, I'll give you 30,000. No, it's standard. You can go to jail for not complying with this. So that's the kind of system we need. The system where the driver knows how much he's collecting. When they tell you some things, see, it's only what you accept. There's a lot of things you can be. So don't allow people say something is your reality. Don't be the person that says this is how I am. This is who I am. No, there's not. This is how I am. There's who you can be. There are two categories of people in the world: people that know and people that don't know. People that know will forever rule over people that don't know. So every time you run after knowing, you are elevating your status. Hello there, welcome to exclusive interview with Asiricomedy. Welcome to my world, and I can assure you it's going to be value for your time. Oh deep! Exclusive ni, interview ni. Oh God. I was a chronic bedwetter, so Yoruba people, they say "Kuman tole." So I used to tole. They now started calling me Tomiwa because I used to bedwet a lot. So on my 10-year birthday, one of our cousins, in a mischievous way, entered into the house and brought out my mattress. It was fully soaked. So she made sure it was at the background of my 10-year birthday picture. So to date, it's still a trauma. Every time I check my 10-year birthday picture, you will see where I use urine to do a map of Africa. So there's no way that will leave my head any soon. So it was casual. My real name is Damilare Oluwasegun, formerly Damilare Oshundare. Then I changed my surname to Oluwasegun. So Asiri came about when I was in OAU. Then when I interact with my peers, they used to pick two things from my conversations. They laugh and they have something to learn. So unconsciously they used to say, Asiri ni here, Asiri ni here. So they started calling me Bobo Asiri here, Bobo Asiri here. Then I now saw it again in Mark 4:11. It is given unto men, hallelujah, to know the secret of the kingdom of God. I said, secret day here. Now that Asiri I go dey bear. Since 2009, I've been bearing that name. No, everybody in my house, everyone in my house is funny. My mom, my dad, my sisters. So being funny is just a normal way. It's a normal way we converse in the house. So, but I never knew it was a thing until I got to the university, and then I just realized that there's something about it, and I saw that it was giving me audience, and I was able to use comedy to communicate a lot of things I wanted to say. That was why I fell in love with comedy. I think I was graced in balancing right from the outset. Like, I was a student. I do attend classes. Sometimes I miss classes because right from when I was in, sometimes I used to come to Lagos to do gigs, but I was a student. No, OAU is fun. OAU was so fun, you interact with other funny students, and the fact that financially I needed to be funny on campus, because especially during second semester, that's when they do dinners, faculty dinners, departmental dinners. So when you host all those events, now money now, do you know what 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira? Then in medicine pays 15,000. Medicine and law, those are the two departments. If they call you for dinner, you are made. So if they give you that, means I used to collect 5,000 naira for like 2 months. Someone had paid me 15,000. So OAU was fun, and OAU made me, because OAU taught me selflessness. Because then, the OAU of then, there's no ownership. If you come to the room and you met someone sleeping on your bed, you don't say stand up. You sleep on the next available bed. If there's no available bed, you sleep on the bare floor. That's how we were. So when we got to the real world, it was easy for us to have empathy. It was easy for us to be in tune. because that was how the community was. We were raised to be selfless. January 18th, 2009. January 18th, 2009, Anglo-Mos car park in OAU. It was at a competition. So at the competition, he came third, I came second. So when I got back to the hostel, the next day I just saw one guy brushing the mouth vigorously. This was the guy from yesterday. That was when I realized that his room, I was in I2 in Angola, or he was in I3. And that was how our friendship started. So it's been like that. So we were friends before comedy. So that was what had helped us all the while. Our friendship remained intact. Even as we are individually evolving, our friendship remains sacrosanct and solid. Wole Awole, padi mi, wo bi ori e wa nbe. Irun mole. Oh God. Of course, they would doubt you now. I had my trajectory all. They knew that this boy is brilliant. So it's either I have become a doctor, a professor, a lecturer or something. So when it started happening, of course, people were skeptical. My dad was skeptical that, what's this boy going into? Very much for that journey. But when I started, result cancel insults. When funds started flowing, if anybody go and tell my daddy anything now, he will fight you. Comedy is the way forward. Though. One other thing I had done was that I think it's grace. As much as I entered into comedy, I was still able to carry every other part of me. The writing part of me is still very active. The teaching part of me, I still teach. I still do capacity building sessions. So I think I'm graced. I'm one of the few people that are graced. I've been able to use comedy, and while using it, I was still able to engage other part of me. So I'm grateful for that, actually. Asiri mystery book. We sold over 4,000 copies already. Anticipation fire of process. Hero. I don't like Semo. Transactions. We are looking at 6. And I'm releasing a major one this September also during my show. I'm releasing a book during my show in September. So the breaking point for me in writing was when I started comedy, usually I write my jokes before I go on stage. And I saw that I always make a lot of difference for me, especially when I'm emceeing events. When people see me MC events, they used to tell me that there's a way it flows that it's not like I'm saying the next item on the program is, so it was the writing part of me that gave me that advantage. So when I wrote, so I had a column every Monday called Inspire Monday where I just inspire people. So I saw that I was gathering a lot of traction. So I now compiled everything I used to say on those Inspiration Mondays. I put them in a book and I launched it. People were skeptical that what is a comedian writing a book for? Then some people read the book, adopted the book, testimonies started flying, and that was the breaking point. Asiri Mystery Book introduced me into consulting, into capacity building. It was comedy alone. But when people read my book, I remembered a managing director called me and he was like, "Did you write this book?" I said, "Yes." "Are you sure you didn't contact someone?" I said, "I wrote it." He said, "Come to our office on Monday, come and address our staffs on sales." I knew he was trying to audition me. I got there, I was myself, and I did the session. He said, now you've addressed our intermediate level staff. Next Friday, come and meet with the managerial levels. That was how it was coincidental. So later I decided to go for MBA, get other certifications. When I saw that there's a demand on this part of me too. And that's how it's been a complete breakthrough for me in that area, I must confess. Every comedian is always under pressure. The last 5 minutes before you get on stage, everything is happening to you, your system, you are getting hot, you are cold at the same time, you want to pee, you want to do number 2, you want to do everything. And it's normal. That is what keeps you fresh. So if you ever get to a point where you get too used to your craft, then you start becoming stale. So it's my first ever performance as a stand-up comedian. It was at Pitt Theatre, OAU. I had a standing ovation, my first ever performance. So I carried that notion to the second performance. They flogged me. The jokes returned back to me void. That was the reality check. That was when I knew that comedy is not plug and play. There's a whole lot of hard work such that when you get on stage, people will think it's natural. It's not natural, it's mastery. And since then I've given myself to that mastery, and I've also located my target audience. It's not everybody that's your audience. So a fish is a champion inside water. Elsewhere, it might struggle. So when you locate your audience, it flows, and it has worked perfectly for me. The people that run after me, the people that I service, there has never been any bad job, and I'm grateful for that. Yes, I remembered when I performed at O2 Indigo. Before I got on stage, I was emotional because I was this same guy, this random guy from Ibadan that no one gave a chance. At some point, people said, all I know is to speak Yoruba. And here I am at O2 Indigo, had a very good performance. I remember when I went to Dublin also. Then I was emotional after, just recently, after my Baltimore show in February in Maryland. I was emotional that, oh wow, I was emotional because my first time in the US, I didn't perform on someone else's bill. It was my own bill, and the show was good. So those things are humbling. It gives credence to the fact that the things we say, the things we use to inspire others is not fiction, it's happening for us. So when you say it, people know that it's not bobo. They see that it's happening for you. So when you tell people to believe, they will know that yes, you are talking from experience. Yeah, it does. It does, because sometimes there are some things that are very funny that I want to say, but when I look at my range and my intellectual conditioning and all, sometimes I will just call someone else that I know that has a better legitimacy to crack that kind of joke. So it's one of the perks of niche when you are niched. And so, but it doesn't, for me, I found the balance point. My last special, I spoke about women, I spoke about domestic violence, I spoke about family, I spoke about international travels, I spoke about women, and yet it was funny. I believed I was able to toggle all those range because I read a lot, I research a lot, and I listen to a lot of people. So the problem for me is not even the knowledge, or with all sense of humility. The problem is now crafting it, making it funny, so that it won't be a presentation. So that's where the comedy comes in. You bring it out to make it funny while you make your points. So yes, not offense per se. It happened in 2000 and a big shot, a popular billionaire, the brother's birthday, and I was contacted to MC. This thing is long ago because I had not fully moved into Lagos then. So it should be something around 2014 or 2013. That was my first time in Banana Island. So I was the MC of the event, and I was doing well. Like, introduced the man, I was still new to the game. I was funny, but my maturity was still brewing as at then. My stage confidence was still brewing. So then I had a bit of H factor then. So as I was talking, one of the granddaughter of the billionaire just say, "Oh, it's just a clown." So I was mentioning some words wrongly. So I think AY was at that event. So I wanted to invite AY to the stage, and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, as I bring up stage AY." So he just started laughing. So it pained me. I wanted to cry. So I was going home that day. I was like, so H factor is a thing. So I didn't know that Oduduwa has so much influence on me. So I went on YouTube. I was like, what is H factor? I took my time. So then I realized that it was just breath control. If you're able to control your breath, instead of saying AY, you say AY. It's different. Do you understand? So, and you know that since that time, I've never made, before Oduduwa shows up, my discipline will suppress Oduduwa. So and it brings credence to the fact that when they tell you some things, see, it's only what you accept. There's a lot of things you can be. So don't allow people say something is your reality. Don't be the person that says this is how I am, this is who I am. No, there's not this is how I am. There's who you can be. It pained me, but I used that pain. I watched over 4 videos on pronunciations on YouTube before I got it right. Okay, don't let me. So, but over time, I've learned to talk slowly. When I want to mention apple, for instance, so I won't say apple. So once you then breathe, the trick is your breath. So wait now, I will breathe now. Apple. You see that H is there. Apple. H is not there. It's your breath control. Once you're able to get it, you are good to go. And it made a lot of difference for me, because after then I remember I emceed for NCDC one time. It was a 2-day event. They didn't know why I did so well in that event. I just believe that it was nature that set me up. It was a conference about polio. I studied microbiology, but they contacted me as a master of ceremony. So I combined my degree in microbiology and immunology to sink into the scientific nuances of that event. So when I was on there, just like, oh, you even took your time to research. I said, something that I did for 5 years in OAU. So usually when you learn things and you gain mastery, people know. People can always tell that, oh, this person has worked on it. Yeah, people say I'm a pastor. People say I'm a bit laid back. I'm not the outgoing type, and people say sometimes I'm too serious. Yeah, so, and I to the best of my ability, I've tried to adjust while I maintain my core. The people around me told me that of late that I'm even more flexible. So I get feedbacks a lot. So when people tell me things, I'll ask myself, is this person telling me from love, from hate, or is this person telling me because is it from beef? So if I'm able to know the intent behind what you are telling me, I will surely work on it. Some people say I'm a pastor, and I'm not a pastor. He's my friend that is a pastor. Sometimes when I go for intellectual program, maybe I went to give a speech, the people say like, hope we are not going to laugh today. And when I go to class, the people say like, hope you will not inspire us today. I learned a concept from one of my mentors one time. He called it delineation. So the ability to be every part of you while you are still whole. Like you are able to be funny and you are able to still be intellectual. It's a lot of hard work, but it happens to you over time. It's part of growth. I'll tell you 3 things about me that is very contrasting. So if you had used those 3 things to judge me, so you will never see me where I am now. Number 1, I have a very terrible handwriting. Yet I've written like 6 bestsellers. I'm a very shy person. Yet I work on the stage. Number 3, I don't like to go out. Yet my expression is social in nature. So if you use those data to determine me, let's say like 10 years ago, they gave me a form and they realized that he has a bad handwriting. This one can never be an author. Do you understand? This guy is a shy person. He can never be a comedian. So it is all these limitations that even inform my dedication. So because I was like, I have a bad handwriting. Is it handwriting or what is coming from my head? So, and for you to know that I have a bad handwriting, let me autograph book for you. You will know. But people still love it. Shyness. When will my private jet come? So that fame doesn't necessarily translate to money. I will tell him to be bolder and unapologetic. Status quo. That's my prediction. Status quo. It will still be a case of classism. It will still be a case of rich becoming richer, poor becoming poorer. It's just that people will find better ways of doing it. restructuring from the constitution level. There's no middle class again. The middle class has gone extinct. There's no middle class again. We have the rich and we have poor people. There's nobody like, it's either you have money now, you don't have money. You can't, there's no middle again. That has gone like a couple of years back. Because an average person is buying fuel upward of 40,000 naira. If you drive a V6, we are looking at 70,000, 80,000. House rent in a place like Lagos, food, all those things. So there's no middle point again, as far as I'm concerned. And based on my interaction with people, it's either you are rich or you are poor. Don't console yourself. So. Nigerian youths are not lazy. We are a group of hyperachievers. It's the system is not killing potentials either, but the system is not standardized. The system is not certain that the system doesn't necessarily reward diligence. There's no equity. So once there's equity in the system, so most of the people we call achievers, they are people that you see an average Nigerian. We are hyperachievers. Even me that I'm talking. You have BSc, you have MSc, you have certification, you have PhD in view. We do what a lineage cannot do in a lifetime. One person has done it. And it's because the system has forced us to go extra mile, because the system does not reward mediocres, because at the lowest level, there's nothing for you. So it's the system that needs to improve and be like default. Plug and play. You come out from school, there's something you will do. There's this, there's that. When you do this, there's that. There's this grant for you. You don't need to know anybody. There's this one for you. This is the standard. When I did producing course in New York Film Academy, when they were teaching us, they brought out a broadsheet. So there was a standard amount. They pay producers, they pay DOPs. So it's not negotiation. It's not like, come to my set, I'll give you 30,000. No, it's standard. You can go to jail for not complying with this. So that's the kind of system we need. The system where the driver knows how much he's collecting. He's not at the mercy of Oga's mood. He just knows that the guy that is handling the camera knows that this is the standard industry price I'm collecting. Once we achieve that in Nigeria, Nigerians are not lazy. It's our systems that need to be standardized. I believe more in lands than properties, because a property also can give you money so far you're not staying there. I could be wrong. Yes, I know people have differing opinions, but I believe that early in your life, a house is much of a burden, because let's do the mathematics. You bought a house now, 85 million, you started staying there. When you start staying there, you start paying estate bill, right? Before you know, you are technically still paying rent on that house. Maybe when you aggregate all the bills you are paying, it's going to like 5 or 6 million in a year. So now let's flip the script. You bought a house 85 million and you rent it out. So when you rent it out, the person you put there is the one servicing it. You are collecting your rent. You have your rent with you. Maybe you are staying in another part, a lesser part of town. By the time you remove your rent, you might still have some fuel and you have lands. That's my own knowledge of investment. It might be wrong, my own point of view. So for a 25-year-old, I don't think a 25-year-old has any business running after properties like that. The greatest investment a 25-year-old need is in his capacity building. As you grow, you will realize how much more that will open a lot of opportunities for you. Because the property you are rushing to get at 25, it will become obsolete by. So that's for me, that at 25, at that age, the best thing you should be hunting after is capacity development. Like getting as much value, as much knowledge as possible that will equip you for the journey ahead. My legacy is that by God's grace, when I'm doing my 80th birthday, from my 70th birthday, when people start talking about me, it will not be about the luxuries I've acquired. It will be the stories of people that have risen by virtue of encountering my light. That's my greatest joy in life. When people say, I read this and he opened this door for me, that's my greatest joy. There are two categories of people in the world: people that know and people that don't know. People that know will forever rule over people that don't know. So every time you run after knowing, you are elevating your status. My name is Damilare Oluwasegun, popularly known as Asiricomedy. I'm a comedian, I'm a best-selling author, I'm a speaker, I'm what I am by the grace of God, and I can assure you, come to my Instagram at Asiricomedy. You get to see a rare blend of depth, hilarity, and insight. I have my show coming up at a hotel September 28th. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be powerful, and we have two surprise musical artists that you can never think that we can combine these two artists together. They'll be coming, and I can assure you it's going to be great. Follow me at Asiricomedy. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm in my house if you want to see me. And what you just saw was my exclusive interview with Hip TV. Hip TV! Oh, deep.
Except you're a trust fund kid or...
True. Yeah. So, Japa and property. My brother, Japa, if you collect that property, that make state government say, oh, make them come bulldoze am. I know that's what you want me to say, so. My brother.
So, as a...
What's one?
Insecurity that you mastered about yourself.
I'm a shy person, but I've now to cover it.
If you could...
Shyness. One sentence, sorry. Shyness.
If you could ask God one question about your future, what would it be?
About my future. When will my private jet come?
What's something about... And cut, thank you very much. That was awesome.